Welcome back to the Transform Your Mind to Transform Your Life, the podcast. You're listening to 5 Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. Today, I want to talk on the topic hammering your nails. So, building a legacy is not a one time act, it's a lifelong commitment to consistent effort. The phrase, keep hammering the nails, perfectly captures the essence of what it means to craft a lasting legacy. Day by day, decision by decision, action by action. Just as a house is built one nail at a time, so is your legacy. Now, I'm not sure if you heard the phrase keep hammering the nails before as it, pertains to your legacy. But years ago, I read the book, The Pursuit of Happiness. And one of the things that the author said is that every day he would keep hitting the anvil. And I always use that analogy of hitting the anvil. But now most people don't know what an anvil is. An anvil is basically when you had blacksmiths and they were shoeing horses. They would have to hit and hit. In fact, my grandfather was a blacksmith, so I know it. He would be hitting the iron and hitting that anvil all the time to shape the shoes for the horses. But everybody knows that you got to keep hammering the nails to build a house. You have to keep hammering the nails. So today, we're going to be looking at hammering the nails to build a legacy, right? So we're going to talk about what it takes to build a legacy that endures, why persistence, dedication, vision are the foundations of whether or not you're focused on creating a legacy for your family, community, or profession. These steps will help you lay the groundwork and keep hammering the nails even when the process seems slow or challenging. So, I want to give you some steps. And the first step is define your legacy. What are you building? Before you can start hammering the nails, you need to know what kind of structure you're building, right? Hey, you're building a house? You're building a dog pen? What are you building? A gate? You can hammer nails for a whole bunch of things. You need to know what kind of structure you're building. A legacy isn't just about what you leave behind materially, it's about the impact you have on people, their values, and the world around you. So you ask yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? What values do I want to pass on? How can I make a lasting impact? Taking the time to define your legacy will serve as your blueprint. Without a clear vision, you'll be hammering without a purpose, and your efforts may scatter. Without a clear vision, the people will perish. You need a vision. Whether it's creating a thriving business, mentoring future generations, or giving back to your community, clarity of purpose is the foundation of a strong legacy. Number two, consistency is the key. One nail at a time, right? Even when you're using a nail gun, it's one nail at a time. Building a legacy requires consistency. Just like a carpenter hammers one nail at a time, you must commit to showing up every day, making decisions that align with your goals, and doing the hard work. The secret to a strong legacy is found in the small, consistent actions over time, not in a single grand gesture. If you want to build a legacy of kindness, for instance, it's about being kind every day. If you want to leave a financial legacy, it's about managing your money wisely, one spending decision at a time. If you want to leave a legacy of leadership, It's about leading with integrity in every interaction. You know, my daughter was talking to me the other day, and she had to go into work because she works from home. A whole bunch of people now are working from home. But this particular day, she had to go into work, and she didn't feel like doing it. And you know what I said to her? Hey, that's your nail, right? You're hammering that nail. You're doing something that you don't really like, but it's important. It is a nail. It is in your destiny. It is in your legacy. Is in what you want to accomplish in your job. You got to do it one nail at a time, right? Remember that legacy building is a marathon, not a sprint. Every action you take is a nail in the framework of your future. What I told my daughter, even when progress seems slow, keep hammering. The structure will take shape over time. Number 3, embrace challenges. Building is hard work, right? Nothing, nothing that is of consequence is easy. It takes hard work. If you want to build a little kennel, then, maybe you can get that done in a couple of days. But if you want to build a house, it takes months, years sometimes, right? It takes heart. Every builder faces challenges, the weather, money, all kinds of things. And legacy building is no different. Along the way, you'll encounter obstacles, setbacks, and doubts. But just like the carpenter doesn't abandon the house when the work gets tough, you can't stop building when challenges arise. When you face resistance, remember that every obstacle is part of the process. It's in those moments that you're first forced to learn, to grow, and adapt. These challenges not only shape you, but also strengthen your legacy you're building. After all, the strongest houses are the ones that are built to withstand the storms. Cat 5 storms. Hammering through the tough times will reinforce the integrity of your legacy. Your perseverance in the face of difficulty will become part of the story you leave behind. Inspiring others to push through their own challenges. Someone is always watching, whether it's your kids, whether it's your coworkers, it's your friends. When you're legacy building, people are watching, people are learning, people are being inspired, right? So people see you pushing through challenges, and then they have the inspiration to build their own legacy. So you lead by example. Your legacy is lived daily. Your legacy isn't something you leave behind when you're gone. It's something you live every day. The way you treat others, the choices you make, and the values you uphold are all part of the living legacy you're building. Like I said, people are watching, even those closest to you. Are you leading by example, or are you throwing the towel every time things get hard? Are you demonstrating the values you want to pass down? Your actions today are teaching the next generation how to live tomorrow. Living your legacy means daily being intentional about every decision and action. It's about making sure that your life reflects the values you want to instill in others. Legacy is not just what you say, it's what you do. Number 5, pass it on. Legacy is about multiplication. A true legacy is one that multiplies. It's not just what you achieve, but about empowering others to continue your work, carry your values, and build on the foundation you've laid. The best way to ensure your legacy endures is to invest in people, mentorship, teaching, and empowering others. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm one-on-one coaching people around the world. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to empower you. I'm building a legacy because they'll be around long after I'm gone. Mentor the next generation. Share your knowledge and wisdom so that others can continue the work you've started. Leave a lasting impact on your community. Create programs, initiatives, or systems that will outlive you. Instill values in your family. Pass down traditions, beliefs, and practices that will become part of your family's legacy for generations. Keep hammering. The work is never done. Building a legacy isn't a task that can be completed in a single day or sometimes even in a lifetime. You have to keep hammering day after day until the structure is strong and capable of standing on its own. Even when you feel like giving up, remember that every effort you make contributes to something larger than yourselves. The house isn't finished after hammering just a few nails. It's built nail by nail, board by board, until it becomes a place that endures long after the builder is gone. So keep hammering the nails. Every act, every decision, every step forward is shaping your legacy for the future. In conclusion, I want to encourage you, keep building, keep hammering. You know, it's not always going to be um, uh, together. Maybe sometimes you'll have to take, you've seen some houses, right? That they start and then it sits there for months before somebody else picks it up. Maybe the person ran out of money. Maybe they ran out of wood or whatever, but they come back to it. So sometimes what I'm trying to say, it's not always linear, right? But you know that you keep building, keep hammering, keep hitting that anvil. Building your legacy is a lifelong endeavor. You're never really completed. After you finish one house, you go to the next, right? It's not about grand gestures, but about the daily grind of consistency, persistence, and leading by example. So, whether you're passing on values, building a business, or creating a lasting impact in your community, the key is to keep hammering the nails one nail at a time, one step at a time, one day at a time. Your legacy will be the sum of your consistent efforts. And with time, it will stand strong for future generations to admire and build upon. Because you know what? You start building this house, and maybe your kids will complete it. So, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's episode of 5 Minute Fridays with Coach Myrna. I want to encourage you that if you're watching this on YouTube, to leave a comment, engage with the video, because this is how I am building my legacy. I want it to reach the entire world. If you're listening on iTunes, we'd love for you to give a rating, give a review, and subscribe. Thank you very much. Listen, love you. Until next time, namaste.